Hi, I'm Jennifer Henry, and this is Love's Last Look at the Clark County Government Rotunda Gallery. So the name of the show is Love's Last Look, and I called it that because each of these vignettes sort of depicts that final moment of parting from the thing that you love most. So each vignette is based on a heroine from a fictional kind of depiction of femininity. So the first here is Marcella. She's from Don Quixote. And of course, we meet her in the first 200 pages. So people who haven't made it all the way through, they even know Marcella. She's sort of the original feminist 400 years ago. She was the object of affection for many poets, one of whom died longing after her, and as his fellow poets are burying him, they're maligning poor Marcella and saying how terrible she is to have cast him off. And she arrives from the forest with all of her beautiful sheep, and she says, "I choose myself and only myself," and goes into the forest forever. And then, of course, Dorothy, who arrives in Oz and finds herself a band of gentlemen who devote themselves to her immediately. And of course, she departs from them quite quickly once she discovers she can return home, which is always sort of a fun interpretation of a very feel-good story that also is about a woman discovering herself and finding her way back to the things that are important to her. And then, of course, this fictionalized depiction of the showgirl, who is no individual character here in Las Vegas. She doesn't have a specific intonation. She isn't any one in particular, but what we know about her is that she's glamorous and she's sparkling and she's always moving. She's always sort of in this moment of engagement and glamour to entice us. But now that all of the true burlesque review shows and all of the true showgirl shows have departed from the stage, we've lost this sense of what the Las Vegas showgirl is, and she's only a memory for us now. And there is this beautiful moment in sort of the showgirl departure from the stage, what they usually do as they walk off the stage. They just sort of throw a hand up at you as if it's to say goodbye, you know, I'll see you later. So I think it's really fun to have that as one of the sort of depictions of what femininity can be in a fictionalized context. I'm really drawn to materials that are initially engaged with in a disposable manner. So the first opportunity that you usually see them in is where they're used just one time for a party or for a gift or for something that's very glamorous and very fun but fleeting. And so this is sort of my opportunity to give those materials a whole new life. I think one of the most interesting things about plastic and cellophane and paper is that in its sort of true form, then that straight out of the package form, it's very flat. It's sort of one-dimensional. You don't get a sense of any kind of volume. But once you sort of begin to manipulate it like I do, you sort of create all of these different texture experiences where it fluffs up and it becomes this large volume of really sort of romantic textures and depth and opportunity to see it in all sorts of different lights. So it begins to grow and change and become more organic over time. And through that manipulation, you learn more about the material and how valuable it can really be, even though it was intentionally intended to be thrown away. One of the interesting things about the Government Center Rotunda Gallery is that it's so large. And in this large space, there's a lot of activity, but people walking through are often kind of headed in a variety of different directions. And so I thought it would be great to have an opportunity to engage everyone as they sort of make their way around the building. And so each of the vignettes has this sort of special place unto itself that seemed like appropriate for the installation itself, and it seemed like a beautiful background, but also they can each see each other. So there's this sort of triangular presentation where if you're observing the one behind me, then you get to see the one in front of me and all of the others that are positioned throughout the room. Each of the three vignettes depicts a fictional heroine at her time of departing, and I hope that everyone will have a chance to visit this summer and perhaps join us for the live performance on June 23rd.